Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Lions Volleyball here on LMU, the LMU Sports Network. We'll pause just for a minute for playing of the national anthem. This is it, biggest game of the season so far, and we thank you for joining us here on the LMU Sports Network. I'm Dalton Green, and this should be an excellent matchup between the home LMU Lions with a record of 2-0 facing number 12 nationally ranked UCLA Bruins. Also the record of 2-0, two ranked teams. Lions are 21st nationally, coming into an early season matchup, and it should be a good one. We'll get you the lineups first and foremost. For UCLA, outside hitter junior number 3, Riley Bushler. Sophomore defensive specialist number 7, Zena Muno. Senior middle blocker number 8, Claire Felix. Senior middle blocker number 10, Jenny Frager. Junior setter number 12, Ryan Chandler. Freshman outside number 24, Savvy Simo, and capital off the All-American senior libero number 11, Taylor Formico. Now for the Lions, wearing the home whites and the blue shorts. UCLA wearing the away all blacks. The Lions first, freshman setter number 1, Tess Reed, joined by junior outside hitter number 6, Sarah Sponsel. Senior outside number 8, Jamie Lee. Freshman opposite, number 12, Sasha Dominique. Senior middle blocker, number 21, Nikki Kevorkin. Sophomore, number 23, middle, Aaron Williams. And, of course, junior libero, number 24, Kristen Castellanos. We're in the alternate libero maroon with the blue shorts. Libero Formico for the Bruins, wearing the alternate white with the black shorts. This promises to be a great matchup. In the last couple of years, it has been the showcase match of the LMU Invitational. Bruins usually ranked nationally, this time around number 12. In the last couple of years, the Lions have taken them down here in their home court. Despite being the underdogs each time, and Coach Tom Black and the rest of the LMU staff will be hoping it's 3 in a row. Coach Tom Black is assisted by Aaron Benning and Felicia Ariel. The head coach for UCLA is Michael Seeley in his 7th season, assisted by Caitlin Nielsen and Tony Kerr. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It's been a great weekend of volleyball here at Gerson Pavilion. 6 games, 4 teams. Illinois State and Niagara just wrapped up before this one. Lions and Bruins both undefeated, having beaten both those teams earlier. Illinois State finishes the tournament with a record of 1-2, Niagara 0-3. Whoever takes this match will take the tournament, and it's been the Lions defending their home court the last couple seasons and defeating the Bruins. Let's see if it can happen again. They face tough competition because these Bruins are some of the best in the business, 12th ranked nationally, and their attacking is scary good. Their outside hitting very strong, with honorable mention All-American last year, Jordan Anderson leading the charge, not in the starting lineup right now. I expect we'll see here very soon. Opposite her is Riley Bushler, who had an excellent game earlier today against Illinois State with 9 kills, 5 blocks, and 2 aces. Their middle blocking is just as good, with another honorable mention All-American, Claire Felix, leading the charge in the middle. And she is joined by fellow senior Jenny Frager, who had a great game earlier, recording a career high in kills. Frager with 14 on 19 attempts to lead all scorers in that game against the Illinois State Redbirds. 6 different Bruins had 3 or more kills, as Bushler had 9, Felix had 5, Anderson had 4, and Muno and Madeline Gates each had 3 apiece. We're about to get underway here at Gersten Pavilion. Once again, thank you for joining us for this tremendous showdown between the home LMU Lions and the visiting UCLA Bruins. Referees checking the starting lineup seem to be the same officiating crew we've had this weekend. Liberos switch in as Castellanos takes out Aaron Williams, and the Lions will start with the first serve. It'll be setter Tess Reed, one of 2 setters in this LMU system, who starts off with the ball first. Lions in the front row have Dominique Kevorkin and Jamie Lee. We have Sarah Sponsel and Kristen Castellanos joining Reed in the back row. UCLA's service seed consists of Formico, Simo, and Bushler. In the front row, they have Chandler, Muno, and Felix. First serve, and we are underway at Gersten Pavilion. Return by UCLA. Bushler will get the first swing off the block. Return by the Lions with Lee. Popped up by Formico. And Bushler is set again on the outside. Has to tip it over. Saved by Reed. Lee will return it with an overhand swing. The set is to Bushler for the 3rd straight time. Lee pops it up. Reed squares, targets Dominique, who tips it. Formico takes it again. Bushler 4 times in a row, blocked by Dominique. This time, setter Chandler goes to the right side for the Lions return, but only just. Lee has to free ball it over. Felix, Chandler, Bushler again with a tip, popped up by Sasha Dominique. Long rally here for the first point until Jamie Lee puts it away to give the Lions the opening lead. Battle of endurance on the first point, as it was the hitting efforts of Riley Bushler against the Lions defense, and eventually LMU won out to get the first point of this young game. Reed a deep serve, Bushler takes it. The set will go back to Felix, who has to tip it over, but the Lions crossed up on defense, can't handle it, and the Bruins tie it up at 1 apiece. UCLA with 3 returning players that were on the All-America lists last year. As a service error comes from Chandler. That'll give Jamie Lee the ball on the service line, and send Sarah Sponsel to the front row. Libero Formico for the Bruins was a 3rd-team All-American last season, showing she's one of the best liberos in the country. Lee targets Chandler on the serve. Bushler the swing off the block. Reed will set up Sponsel. Sponsel going past the block. 4 kill. Sarah Sponsel did not start the last game against Niagara in the front row. She was a back row defensive position only, but then came in near the end of the second set and still managed to record double-digit kills for the 2nd game in a row. Formico sets up Bushler at the 10-foot line. That one misses the court. Lions have a 3-point advantage. Joining Formico on those All-America lists were Claire Felix, who is currently on the left side of the court as an honorable mention, and Jordan Anderson, who led the team in kills, also an honorable mention. Here's Bushler. Bushler blocked by Dominique and Kevorkin. The Lions lead 5-1 here in the first set. Bushler also a very solid hitter, just behind Anderson in last year's totals, had 373 kills. in the 2015 season. Simo pops this one up. Bushler will swing again. Goes off the head of Dominica. Free ball. Goes back to the Bruins. It's Bushler. Over the block. Off the hands of Reed for a Bruin kill. She'll go back to serve, and look, here comes Jordan Anderson. The 6-foot senior from Flower Mound, Texas. 517 kills last season. The best hitter on this Bruin offense. And she is one to watch for. Reed sets up Dominique, blocked by Anderson. Reed free balls it over to save the day. Set goes back to Felix off the block. Castellanos pops it up. Sponsel hits it from the 10-foot line in the court for a kill. Sarah Sponsel with impeccable placement on that attack to give the Lions the 6-2 lead. Castellanos back to the service line, all the way at the basketball end line to set up her jump float. Here it comes, the back middle. It's a setter dump, but Reed was all over it. Dominique has to free ball it over, though, kind of a wasted opportunity for the Lions. The set is back to Felix, popped up by Whitford, and that'll hit the back wall for a Bruin kill. Well, Felix and Anderson making that honorable mention All-American team. They were joined by one line. That's, of course, Sarah Sponsel, who was All-WCC in her second year, now in her junior season. And that's a big kill from Aaron Williams. Williams so quick up the middle and finds the back corner for the Lion kill. Setter swap for LMU. Jessie Pritchard coming in, and Sarah Kovac will come into the front row, replacing Reed and Dominique. This is the same lineup we saw the Lions use in their opening match against Illinois State. We saw kind of a different lineup today, which featured some newcomers. Here's Anderson with the push across court. A set from Pritchard is off, and Kovac could not get to it. Point to the Bruins. Substitution. Kyra Rogers coming in. And Muno takes a seat. The setter Chandler serves it up. Castellanos takes it. The set's out to Sponsel with a big swing, but dug by Formico. And the Bruins free ball it back over. Sponsel again with a big swing, dug by Bushler this time, who sets it back. Another free ball for the Lions. Sponsel off the net this time. A roll shot. A tip by Frager gives the Lions a chance to run their offense. Williams a tip. This sets out to Anderson. A big swing cross court dug by Whitford, but it's an overpass. And they'll go to Frager this time. Whitford another dig. A big rally here. Sponsel ends it with the cross court kill. Crowd roaring here at Gersten Pavilion. Student section still continuing to fill up early on in this first set. Sponsel back to serve with an 8-4 advantage as Lee checks back into the game. The float goes to Formico. Set to Rogers. Sponsel has the hand, sets Lee. Lee goes off the block, and the Bruins have to free ball it over. Pritchard the quick to Williams. Here's Rogers, goes off the block of Kovac, a whistle. And looks like here Rogers went into the net. Point to the Lions, now with a 9-4 lead early on. Sarah Sponsel has the ability to really go on service runs from the back line. She shares that with her teammate Kristen Castellanos. A tip from Frager, rescued by Williams. Sponsel setting up Lee. A big block, but Lee kind of just threw her hands out there and got contact on it, but it was not enough to save the point. Anderson and Frager teaming up on the block, and Anderson checking out, allowing Simo to come back in. So it's Anderson only playing in the front row. A couple of big blocks from the senior. Williams targeting Chandler and getting the kill. Lions 10-5 advantage here now. Nikki Kevorkian checks back in. Looks like Aaron Williams is getting the serving duties this set rather than Kevorkian. Williams with a screamer that goes over the net. Bushler is set up and gives it off the block of Kovac for a kill. Formico back to serve. And the Lions have a two-player serve receive now. Just Sponsel and Castellanos have to cover the whole court. Leaves really the zone right there, which he was trying to hit, kind of open, but Formico missed by some distance. Dominique and Reed coming back in, and Reed will serve. UCLA serve receive Formico, Simo, and Bushler. Lions leading 11-6. 3 kills from Sarah Sponsel. The pass from Simo. The set to Rogers, and it is well out of bounds. And a point to the Lions. A couple of errors so far for the Bruins. Service error from Formico and the attacking error from Kira Rogers we see so far. Reed serve an error into the net. And that was one of the things Coach Tom Black wanted to improve upon this game. I talked to him before the game. He said serving errors have to be reduced. Didn't like what he saw in that department against Niagara earlier today. And there's the first error of the game for the Lions. However, that is not the first for UCLA, as UCLA hands LMU another point due to service error. Jamie Lee coming in to serve now. Both teams with one block. Lee gets to Formico. Bushler the bump set. And Reed sets up Sponsel. Sponsel to tip. Over to Bushler. Bushler out of bounds. No touch. And that's another point to the Lions. Timeout called by UCLA coach Michael Seeley as the Lions lead 14-7. And Gerson Pavilion is getting excited. Number 21 LMU doubling the score of number 12 UCLA here in this first set. Sarah Sponsel leads the charge with 3 kills. Aaron Williams has 2. We'll be back in just a minute here on LMU Sports Network and LMULions.com, powered by the W.TV. Welcome back. Score is 15-8 here in the first set. 14-8 rather. Bruins 14-9. Excuse me. Bruins rallying off a couple points. Sponsel with the attack, and it'll be returned by the Bruins. Anderson has to free ball it over. Reed setting up Dominique off the block and over. UCLA can't get to it for an LMU point. Dominique getting her first kill of this young game. Castellanos back to serve, and she's who I've highlighted as the key player of this game today. UCLA's attack so strong with Anderson, Bushler on the outside, Felix Frager in the middle. They'll need strong passing, and it all starts with the libero, Castellanos. Kai Whitford also key as the defensive specialist replacement for Jamie Lee in the back row. And of course, Sarah Sponsel will be important when she's in the back row as well. 15-10, Lions have the advantage. Felix, the high float. Whitford takes it. Quick set to Lee. Caroming over to the broadcast table. 4-line kill. Williams now with 3 kills today. Jesse Pritchard, number 20. The freshman center, one of 2. Featuring heavily on this Lions team. That one's to the back left. Anderson with the attack. Sponsel sets up Kovac at the net. Almost blocked. Anderson a big swing. Pritchard setting up Kovac. Kovac going cross court. This one's to Sarah Sponsel. Sponsel cross court. Anderson pops back up. Castellanos diving to save it. Sponsel with the swing. Anderson will be set up for UCLA, and that's a kill. Castellanos can't pop it up. Another hard-fought point, and I think we'll have no shortage of those today, as both teams feature solid attacks. 4 tremendous outsides in this game. Sarah Sponsel and Jamie Lee for the Lions, and Jordan Anderson and Riley Bushler for the Bruins. The float serve goes off the tape and over. Sets to Sponsel. Bushler overpasses. Set this time to Williams, and Williams records her 4th kill. Jamie Lee checking back in, replacing K-Kai Whitford. Sponsel back to serve. The jump float goes to Bushler. The sets to Anderson on the right side, and that's a powerful kill from the senior, as we've come to expect. Sammy Simo checking in the game. Freshman from Rancho Santa Fe down in the San Diego area. Jamie Lee goes off the block, and UCLA gets a chance to return. Here's Bushler. The kill can't be handled by Pritchard, and another point for the UCLA Bruins. 17-14, the Lions have the advantage now. 17-13 rather. Simo targeting Castellanos. The quick set is to Lee, and the block from Frager not there. Jamie Lee with her 2nd kill of the game. Had 15 in each of the last 2 games. Jamie Lee did. And Sarah Sponsel had 12 in each of the last 2 games, so the Lions are nothing if not consistent on the outside. A nice serve by Williams, barely handled. A pop-up and a block from Nikki Kevorkian. Pritchard overpassed, Bushler capitalized, and Kevorkian blocked. Another timeout coming from Michael Seeley. 19-13, the Lions now lead ahead of the Bruins in this first set. Just a quick reminder, we'll be streaming all home games this volleyball season here on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com and W.TV. It's been an exciting first weekend of volleyball here. We've streamed every game this tournament, and we thank you for tuning in to this one as well as any others you may have joined us for. If you're interested in more Lions sports, come back tomorrow, as soccer has its home opener at 1 o'clock against UC Bakersfield. I'll be on the call for that one, so I hope to have you all there tuning in. Lions eager to get out of the timeout early and keep the momentum they have. Volleyball, such a momentum-driven game. A timeout call to the right time can really change things around, and that is what Coach Michael Seeley is hoping for in this first set, as the UCLA Bruins find themselves down by 6 against the Lions of LMU. Aaron Williams, the server, goes to Formico. It sets to Frager, and she slams that one down in front of Pritchard. Point to the Bruins. And Castellanos returning. Formico, the server, targets Castellanos. An overpass, a rare overpass from the junior libero. A big swing from Bushler, saved by Pritchard. Sponsel sets Lee on the outside, a block. Lee gets another attempt at it, blocked again by Frager and Rogers. That was Madeline Gates, not Jenny Frager, my mistake, and that's a service error, point to the Lions. Gates, the freshman middle blocker from San Diego, getting some playing time for the Bruins. Tess Reed now serving for the Lions. A big swing from Gates is blocked, and the Lions have their 21st point of this set. Jamie Lee with a single block, and Coach Tom Black liked what he saw in the fourth set of the Niagara game. In terms of the Lions blocking, it was a little bit shaky earlier on, as well as in the Illinois State game, but really picking up. The Lions have 3 blocks, more than the Bruins 2. Lee with the attack. UCLA returns with a Bushler swing, tooled off the block and out. I was talking to Coach Black before the game, and he stressed the importance of everyone, not just the middles, of getting over to the block quickly, setting their feet, and pushing with force so you don't get tooled like that. Muno sails well out of bounds. Another service error for the UCLA Bruins. Jamie Lee back to serve. Taken by Muno. A big swing from Gates. Winds up as a Bruin kill. Anderson returning in the front row. Riley Bushler, the server. A jump float goes to Castellanos. Sponsel with the kill. Sponsel goes deep corner and comes up big for her 4th kill of this set. Erin Williams also has 4 kills, and she returns. Castellanos, the server. And a nice float. Luna can barely handle the dump from Chandler, however, is very successful. And Tess Reed can't take advantage of it for a Bruin point. Castellanos takes it. The sets to Dominique, and a big block from Anderson, saved by Whitford. And Sponsel has to hit it from the 10-foot line. That one barely out of bounds on the left side. Bruins point, and this is the first we see of Taylor Schlenner, the sophomore defensive specialist from Yorba Linda. A nice quick serve coming over. Sponsel attacks, and a big block from Frager in that front row. Frager teaming up with Ryan Chandler there, right side. A timeout whistled by Coach Tom Black. His team only 3 points up now, 23-20, ahead of the number 12 nationally ranked UCLA Bruins. I asked Coach Black about, what do you think the best starting lineup is? And he said, you know, this is a very fluid thing. We have what we think the best starting lineup is for now. And that's a lineup that includes a lot of things going on. You have 2 setters, 2 opposites, and only 1 player, Sarah Sponsel, playing all the way around. Jamie Lee is taken out in the back row for Kai Whitford, 2 setters, 2 opposites. So you have a number of different players coming in for the Lions. 10 actually getting very regular playing time in a roster of 15. And we saw Emma Johnson and Savannah Slattery getting also significant playing time in the last game. So plenty of Lions getting chances to prove themselves. The only Lions we've yet to see are freshmen Alexis Morrow and Cameron Hill, as well as injured junior Lindsay Carr. Runner the serve. Williams the kill. Point to the Lions as Jesse Pritchard returning. Serving as Tess Reed, staying in the game at 24-20. Typically we'd see Sarah Kovac coming in this time, but Coach Black leaving her on the bench at 24-20. Bushler the pass. Anderson goes up with a swing. Castellanos the dig. Sponsel attacks off the net and in, and the Lions take the first set, 25-20. Thanks to the efforts of Sarah Sponsel's 6 kills and Erin Williams' 5. LMU takes the first set and off to a good start against the 12th nationally ranked Bruins. We'll be back in a minute with the second set. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com, and the W.TV. Welcome back, everybody. Lions took the first set 25-20, and UCLA looking to bounce back. Find themselves one set down early on. The 12th ranked Bruins and the 21st ranked Lions. And you know, I kept saying all weekend this was going to be a great game, and so far it has not disappointed. We had some genuinely tremendous rallies in that first set, and I expect to see more. Teams getting set for the second set. And Taylor Formico of the UCLA Bruins will have the service ball to start off. Lions with an unchanged lineup. No surprise there. And they'll start off with a serve receive of Kekai Whitford, Kristen Castellanos, and Sarah Sponsel. I said my key player for this game was Kristen Castellanos. 4 digs so far. So solid. And the first serve of this second set is an error. As Taylor Formico sends it right into the net. 5 service errors from the Bruins in that first set. 2 coming from Formico. She now has 3. And 3 coming from Zanamuno. So a couple of experienced Bruins having some troubles at the service line. Kira Rogers off the block and out of bounds for a Bruin kill. She records her first kill of the game and will come out. And Muno will come back in trying to reverse something, the trouble she had at the service line. This one finds the court. And Sponsel with the swing cross court. Returned and the settered up by Chandler. Lions are all over it. Dominique from the right side. Sets to Gates. Sponsel with the tip cross court. Bushler gets it up. Formico saves the day and knocks it over. Reed setting up Williams off the block and out for a Lion kill. Student section coming alive here at Gersten Pavilion. Jesse Pritchard and Sarah Kovac returning. Pritchard the jump float, targeting Muno. Sets out to Bushler, and Bushler a quick kill on the left side. She'll go back to the service line, meaning we see the return of Jordan Anderson. Anderson in that first set, 9 attempts, only 2 kills. She did have 1 block. 6 blocks for the Bruins, 4 for the Lions, so improvement we see in the blocking department, and Sarah Sponsel destroyed that ball. Another kill for Sponsel, that makes 6. And she'll go back to serve. Hope we get to see a highlight of that one. She hit that one quickly and straight into the ground. Sponsel, the float serve. Gates comes on the slide play. Lions get to run their offense. And Williams with a quick hit and the quick kill. Lions starting off the second set well as they did the first, 4-2. The score here. Williams with 7 kills, leading all scorers. Bushler the pass. Anderson the tip. Lions couldn't get to it, and that's an effective play from the experienced Anderson. Gates on the service line. Castellanos, Pritchard, and Kovac. Bruins return, a tip from Frager, pancake from Castellanos, no whistle. Lee goes over. A big swing from Anderson. Tom Black gets out of the way so Whitford can do a cross-court bump to set up Lee, who has to free ball it over. Sets back to Frager. Sponsel, Lee. Dug by Gates. Anderson on the left side. Tools it off the block for a kill. Madeline Gates on the service line as this second set is tied 4-4. Castellanos. A tip from Williams, and the Lions take the 5th point. Williams 8 kills now to lead all scorers. In the game against Niagara, she came up with 5. Service error gives the ball back to UCLA, and Ryan Chandler back on the service line now. Finds herself with 15 assists so far. Castellanos, Pritchard, Jamie Lee with the kill. A substitution coming. Setter swap for the Lions.
Let's go, LMU!
The server Reed sends the float deep. Formico. A big swing from Rogers. A big block, but UCLA saves it. No, they didn't hit the floor. And that was Dominique and Kevorkian teaming up on the right side to deny Rogers. This is a tough serve receive for UCLA as they're all turned around. Formico passing Rogers the attack out of bounds. Another hitting error for UCLA. Point to the Lions as they lead 8-5 now. 3 points in a row. Tess Reed on the service line. No small part of that. This one deep, Formico diving. Anderson hitting Castellanos the dig. Kevorkian goes off the block. And Anderson on the right side swings, and that's a nice kill from the senior. She'll check out now and be replaced by Savvy Simo, who will be serving. So on that serve receive for the Bruins, Anderson hits right side instead of going to her usual left-sided hitting. And Rogers finds herself on the left, and that was a rare miscue from Sarah Sponsel on the service. Just seems like she didn't really see it. And in this rotation where there's only really 2 serve receivers for the Lions, it's kind of crucial that that first pass is there. Sponsel. Over Nikki Kevorkian on the slide for a kill. Kevorkian with her first kill of the game. Looking back to Jamie Lee now with the serve. Jamie Lee with only 3 kills, kind of a more modest pace than she set in the game against Niagara. And that's a big kill from Jenny Frager. with 14 earlier today against Illinois State. And now returns to the bench as Formico back to serve. Formico with 3 service errors so far. Trying to kind of reverse some of that mojo. Sponsel the attack, Sponsel the kill. That's 7 for Sarah Sponsel now. Her and Aaron Williams have combined for 15 as Williams returns to the court. Castellanos on the service line. The Lions are just getting out in front of the Bruins early and not letting up. That's got to be the key this game. That's a tip kill from Rogers. Muno the server now, also with 3 service errors. Pops that one high. K-Kai Whitford with the pass. Sponsel off the block, or maybe off the tape. Too tough to tell. Cates is blocked in the middle by Williams and Sponsel. Lions have the 11-9 advantage now. Sarah Kovac and Jessie Pritchard returning. Pritchard back on the service line with 8. With 8 assists. Bushler the big swing and hits the line for a kill.
I respectfully disagree. I don't know about that one, man.
Bushler doing well to find the sideline. And that is her 7th kill of the game. Float serve now. Aaron Williams on the slide play. That one popped back up. K-Kai Whitford letting the overpass go out of bounds. And LMU regains that 2-point advantage, 12-10. Sarah Sponsel now on the service line. And Jamie Lee returns, replacing K-Kai Whitford. Lee, Williams, and Kovac in the front row for the Lions now. Bushler passing. Gates with the attack. Lions return with Lee. Anderson passes. Anderson will get the set. A nice dig from Sponsel. And Lee comes over and hits the net on her swing. Point to the Bruins. 12-11, the Lions now have this very tight advantage here in the second set. Gates with the serve, goes just over. Sponsel not quite ready for that one, but the Lions get it over. Bushler from the back, and that's a big swing from the junior. Castellanos couldn't handle it. And Riley Bushler doing her best to keep the Bruins in this. 12-12 is the score now. She's got 8 kills, most of her team. Aaron Williams still leading the charge with 9 for the Lions. Sponsel. Pritchard over to Jamie Lee, cross court. Overpass. Williams tried to take advantage, but could not find the court. Tried to go to a side where no one was and just missed entirely. So hitting error for Aaron Williams. And the Bruins of UCLA now have their first lead of this set. An attacking error from Jamie Lee gives the Bruins a 2-point advantage, 14-12. And a timeout called by Coach Tom Black.
Good call, Tom. We like that.
The first timeout of the set is tries to reverse things for LMU. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com, and the W.TV. Welcome back. 14-12, the score becomes 14-15 as a double touch from Jessie Pritchard. And the Bruins now have a 3-point advantage, their largest so far. Sarah Sponsel, the captain, coming over to discuss that. Get an explanation from the up ref. It's Kaylee Kimura, who is the up ref. Lydia Goodshaw is the down ref.
If you're so sure, ref, which hand hit first? Simultaneous.
Sponsor getting the explanation.
Let's go, LMU.
And Coach Tom Black ending his protest. Point to the Bruins.
State schools are soft.
Gates, the serve, and Lee comes to the Lions, a big block. However, from Frager and Chandler, and the Bruins open up a 4-point advantage, and this is a danger zone for Lions as Coach Black calls another timeout. If UCLA can extend this advantage and win the set with good momentum, they have all the momentum going into game 3. And LMU can take this one. They'll be in much better shape. I don't think Tom Black wants to lose the set, and he'll devise his plan in the huddle right now. So far, some of the things he wanted to see improved in this game have indeed gotten better. I wanted to see serving accuracy improve. And through the first set, the Lions only with one service error, that coming from Tess Reed. As for the blocking side of things, as you'll see some Lions kills here on these highlights. Aaron Williams there, 9 kills. As for the blocking side, LMU has done much better with 5 blocks so far. 1 solo block from Mickey Gavorkin in the first set, and that was a resounding one. And in the second set, they've added 1. UCLA only with 4 blocks. With a 4-point advantage, Madeline Gates will be serving for the UCLA Bruins. Castellanos diving to save it. Williams is blocked by Frager in the front row, and Williams, even though she's got 9 kills, still she got blocked on that one, and it doesn't happen every time, you know. Gates, the float. Sponsel pops it up. And Sarah Kovac, a hitting error. So, just as I said, the Bruins got a couple points in a row, and here's the danger zone for LMU. They have to reverse this. Well, UCLA will win this set going away and have a lot of momentum going into the third set. Gates, Sponsel, an off pass. Lee gets the set, and not a good swing from Jamie Lee. Looks like we'll have some substitution. Savannah Slattery coming in. And she'll replace Jamie Lee in the front row. Just kind of mix things up a little bit for the Lions. The freshman coming in to help with the service eve and to help on the front row. Had 5 kills in our LMU debut earlier today. Williams the swing. And the tip from Anderson. Lions run their offense. Pritchard setting up Williams. Williams off the block. Bruins dig it. Anderson again. Slattery gets this set and blocked resoundingly by Chandler and Frager. UCLA now with 9 straight points. 20-12. Gates serving again. 4 straight points for the Bruins since the timeout. Kovac, the swing. UCLA returns it with Anderson. Block from Kovac. Anderson set up again. This one, the far tip into the back corner, and Anderson good with hit placement and with misdirection. She kind of wound up making Kovac think she was going for the big swing and just tipped it far, and no one could get to it. This one, a service error, finally ending the 10 straight point run by UCLA. And LMU's got a lot of work to do, down 8. With only 4 to go till the end of the set. Aaron Williams back to serve. Lions will need a run here if they're to win the second set. Williams, a deep float, too deep, out of bounds. Service error. UCLA now with a 9-point advantage. And they'll make a couple substitutions trying to close out this second set. Ryan Chandler on the back line. LMU serve receive. Castellanos and Sponsel. Sponsel takes it. Pritchard, the back set to Gavorkin, is handled by the Bruins. Anderson, a block from Kovac, and a point to the Lions. That could be the jump start the Lions need here at the end of the second set to get some momentum going. Tess Reed now back to the service line. She oversaw a nice run for LMU earlier on in this set from that service line. Anderson takes the pass. The tip from Frager is handled by Kevorkian. Block and Dominique returns it. Frager the swing, and Castellanos and Sponsel both could not get to it. UCLA now 2 points away from securing victory in this second set. Simmel returning, she'll serve. Wonder what Tom Black will do in the third set. Savannah Slattery or Jamie Lee. You'd have to think you'd return to the senior. But Slattery seems to be confident there, and however, that one sails out of bounds. And UCLA up by 10 and only one away from taking the second set to even this game up at 1 set apiece. (24-14), Bruins lead. Sponsel. And Kevorkian just kind of mishit that one. That gives UCLA the 25-14 victory in set number 2. So this game is all even. LMU took the first one 25-20, and UCLA takes the second 25-14. We'll be back in a few minutes with some break time analysis before we get ready for the third set. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com, and the W.TV. Billion and the LMU Lions and UCLA Bruins are knotted at 1 apiece. LMU taking the first one 25-20 and dropping the second 25-14. UCLA much improved in that second set. Tower Pizza Serving Challenge going on right now in Chris Pavilion, so a break between the second and third sets, and we'll take this opportunity to talk about some of the things we were looking for coming into this game and see how they've panned out. I was speaking with Coach Tom Black early on in this one. He wanted to see improvement in serving as well as blocking. And we seem to have a couple, some improvements here. Only 3 service errors so far, a couple coming from Aaron Williams and 1 coming from Tess Reed. UCLA, meanwhile, has 7, 3 coming from each Zana Muno and Taylor Formico. Madeline Gates also with 1. You also want to see improvement in blocking, and the Lions have done just that. 10 blocks, an impressive tally, as they only had 4 in the game against Niagara. Nikki Kevorkian getting 1 solo block. Or not 10 blocks, rather 6, my mistake. Nikki Kevorkian 1 solo block, and teaming up for 4 block assists. Sasha Dominique also with a couple. So LMU much improved in that category. UCLA also with 6 total team blocks. And it appears that Nikki Kevorkian, as I was saying in the first game today, in the first game, in the season opener rather, on Friday against Illinois State, she was a little bit inconsistent in getting over to the pins to help out with blocking. And today's game against UCLA, that seems to be the opposite of what was the case yesterday. She's been very effective at helping out the pins, being able to shut down UCLA's pin hitters like Riley Bushler and Jordan Anderson, who are so effective normally. They've kind of had some limited success so far. Bushler with 8 kills has done very well. Anderson with 6, but neither really reaching the levels which we often expect them to. For the LMU Lions, Sarah Sponsel has 7 kills, a very solid performance, but she's been outshined by Erin Williams, who is hitting .467, best of anyone on the Lions, on 15 attempts, only 2 errors. Williams with 9 points, done very well so far. Jamie Lee also has 3. No other Lions have more than 1. For UCLA, Bushler has 8, Anderson has 6, as I said. Claire Felix and Jenny Frager each have 3. So the 4 hitters we're looking to see most for UCLA have been consistent, if not spectacular, as the first set kind of started shaky for the Bruins, and they came back in a big way in the second set. Service errors, I think, are the biggest area of concern for UCLA, and I think for LMU, it's passing off these Bruin hitters. We've got 37 team digs more than UCLA, and Castellanos has 9 to lead the team. But I think if you're going to defeat the Bruins, you have to get to more balls than that, as Bushler and Anderson are so good at finding open spots, as are the middle hitters, Felix and Frager. Madeline Gates has also had success there for UCLA. Another thing I talked to Coach Tom Black about was the consistency of his team's hitting. He sees the Lions a very good hitting team, and I have to agree, you're facing one of the best in UCLA. And I think maybe if LMU's going to get some success in this third set, they could have a bit more diversification of their hitters. Maybe get Jamie Lee Worton a bit more, or Nikki Gaworkin or Sarah Kovac, but we'll see in the third set, which will come at you in just a couple minutes. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMUIons.com, and the W.TV. Welcome back to the third set here at Gerson Pavilion. Lions and Bruins in a tough match. And in the building is UCLA men's coach John Sparrow, also the national team coach, the Olympic bronze medalist, USA men. So we've got a UCLA representation of the men's bronze medal winning team and a LMU representation in the form of Tom Black, who is the women's assistant coach to Karch Karai for the national side. Third set underway as Tess Reed gets it off with a float serve. And the Lions, barely missed out on that one as Reed mishandled it, and Kevorkian had to dive to try to free ball it over and could not come through. So UCLA grabbing the first point of that set. Sponsel with the pass. Kevorkian blocked. And UCLA 2 points in a row as Castellanos tried to bop it up but hit the pin. And LMU dropping the first 2 points of this set. Muno the server. Lee the first attack. Overpass. Williams the joust with Gates. UCLA now with Bushler. Off the block. Sponsel setting Lee. Lee goes deep. Slide play for Gates is out of bounds. Lions get the first point of this third set. Jamie Lee goes deep and just misses the back line. UCLA takes the point. And Riley Bushler back to the service line now. Coach Black having a word with Jamie Lee. Sarah Sponsel, the attack. Sarah Sponsel, the kill. Sponsel with her 8th kill of the game. Good for second best of anyone in this match. Castellanos coming back to serve. Castellanos, the jump float to the back middle. And the slide play is blocked. There's Williams and Sponsel, and that's exactly what we wanted to see from the Lions blocking. Being able to cover slide plays like that from Madeline Cates. A great point to the Lions. Castellanos, the deep float. A setter dump from Chandler, and she telegraphed it with her eyes, but the Lions didn't see it and gave up a point there via the setter dump. Madeline Gates now is serving. She was a big part of that 10-point run in that second set where she served throughout the entire time. Dominique off the block. Anderson. Sponsel free balls it over, and it was almost a kill there. Dominique tried to knock it back towards play and could not get good contact on it. Point to UCLA. And I don't think the Lions want to see a repeat of last time where Gates went for 10 straight points against the Lion defense. Erin Williams coming with a big kill, and she's now in double-digit kills this game. Going the back line and coming up big as the Lions narrow it down to 5-4. Jessie Pritchard returning for the Lions.
Let's go! Let's go, Jessie!
She'll face a serve receive of Muno, Bushler, and Formico. Muno watches it go past the back line, and Pritchard for a service error. First of the game, the Lions 4th overall. Ryan Chandler back to serve. Chandler leads all players with 21 assists. That one was probably sailing out of bounds, but K-Kai Whitford took it. Sarah Sponsel makes up for it with the kill. Sponsel now with 9 kills. And Jamie Lee checking in. Sponsel back to serve. Her jump float targets Bushler. Bushler with a pass off the 10-foot line. Lions run their offense. Lee off the block. And in the court. It was a close one, but the point goes to the Bruins. 7-5, they lead now. And Savissimo checking back in to serve. Anderson coming out. Castellanos diving to save it. Lee the swing and a big block from the duo of Rogers and Frager. Jamie Lee on the outside. He's got to mix it up a little bit or else he's going to get blocked like by Frager every time. Hitting straight into it. Maybe a roll shot, maybe a line shot just to kind of mix it up and keep UCLA guessing. There's a nice kill from Erin Williams. She continues her domination this game. 11 kills for Williams. The sophomore from Cerritos. 11 kills to lead all players. And her serve almost an ace. Gates gets on top of it. Lee with the tip. And UCLA will return. Bushler with the swing. Blocked by Kovac. Knocked back over to the UCLA side. Frager a swing. Lee has to free ball it, but is blocked by Frager on the free ball. Just a kind of a lazy play there from Jamie Lee, and she paid the price for it, as Frager was all over it. 9-6, the Bruins now have the advantage. And Taylor Formico's back to serve. Sponsel the pass. Kovac the swing and a block from Bushler. And UCLA has figured out the Lions' attack and has reeled off 4 blocks. This set as Coach Tom Black calls an early timeout at 10-6. Trying to figure out how to switch up the hitting strategy so that the UCLA Bruins can't keep getting points off blocks. We'll see how it turns out when we come back in just a bit. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com, and the W.TV. Welcome back. Lions and Bruins here at Gerson Pavilion, and Savannah Slattery has checked in and recorded a kill. Slattery in for Lee, who's been struggling a little bit. And Tess Reed, a fellow freshman, back on the service line. Big swing from Rogers and an even bigger block from the duo of Kevorkian and Slattery. On the left side, both got up and denied the big swing from Kira Rogers. Lions within 2. Bushler the pass. Bushler gets the set, and that's a touch by Dominique. Bushler with the kill. That's her 9th of the game. Chandler records her 22nd assist. And Munoz back to serve for the UCLA Bruins. A kind of a push attempt there. Castellanos the save. A big swing from Gates, saved by Reed. Sponsel sets up Slattery. Slattery with the roll shot. UCLA comes back with Bushler. Sponsel, Reed, Slattery. Off the face of Formico. The Lions take the point. A big back and forth point there. And eventually Sarah Sponsel teaming up with Tess Reed and Savannah Slattery. Secure the point for the Lions. Slattery now back to serve. After which she'll probably be replaced by Kai Whitford in the back. Formico the pass. And a free ball from Bushler. Reed setting up Dominique. Bushler the swing. Bushler the kill. Whitford returns. 12-9 advantage for UCLA. And Jordan Anderson comes back in for UCLA. Bushler with 10 kills to lead the team. Aaron Williams still has the best total of this game with 11. Sponsel takes the pass. Sponsel will be set and returned by the Bruins. Bushler from the back row airmails it. An error and a point to the Lions. Williams returns, looking to add to her total of 11 kills. Castellanos, the float serve. Anderson, a big swing, saved by Reed. Sponsel, the left-handed attack. And I heard a whistle there. Looks like she hit the net on the follow-through, but I appreciate the versatility from the junior Sponsel. Switching up to the left hand to get a set that wasn't in the place she wanted it. Bruins still with that 3-point advantage. Here's Gates from the back line. Sponsel. Sponsel again. And that one's returned by Gates. Chandler tried to set her dump, but Sponsel was all over it. Bushler from the back row. Reed sets up Williams. Williams looking for a 12th kill, doesn't get it there. Anderson will tip. A kick by Reed, and it's over the net. A big point for the Bruins as Frager puts it down. But how about that saved kick from Tess Reed? It is legal. You can kick the ball up. As Coach Tom Black calls a timeout, as in the past 8 points, his team not really making a dent in the UCLA lead. But how about that just willingness to keep going for the Lions team? Didn't happen for them in the end of that point, but Tess Reed with the kick. And players were diving everywhere, and that's what you want to see if you're the coaching staff. Of course, you'd also like to see them get the point in the end, but I think that kind of hustle will translate into points, and Coach Black conferring with his team. UCLA's blocking much improved this game. They've got 5 blocks so far in this set, after having only 6 in the first 2 sets, so 11 total blocks for them this game. And it's been Chandler on that right side, the setter. Not the tallest player on the court, standing in listed at 5'9" on the media guide. He's getting over the net, been able to deny Jamie Lee a couple times. We're seeing Savannah Slattery in there now, but when Whitford rotates back to the front row, I imagine we'll see her again instead of Jamie Lee. Gates on the service line, where the Bruins have had their best success. Whitford the pass. Williams is blocked, and a solo block from Frager comes up big there. And that is her ninth block of this game. She's 9 of the Bruins' 12. On a tear today, having a great day. 14 kills earlier. Madeline Gates with the float serve. Sasha Dominique is blocked, and this Bruins blocking unit has been tremendous. The LMU hitters are mixing it up and can't seem to really get something going. Perhaps a different hit, a different speed will be the case. The Lions haven't tried many quicks to the outside. We'll see if something can go there. And Sponsel tooling off the block. Hitting line from off the net and coming through. Sponsel with her 10th kill of the game. 3 straight games in which she's recorded double-digit kills. That's 3 of 3 this season for the Junior All-America honorable mention on the LWCC player. Pritchard the float serve. Muno watches it go out of bounds, and that's Pritchard's second service error this set. Chandler, the low set, handled by Sponsel. Sponsel will get the set and finds the kill. Sarah Sponsel is so good at that topspin attack. Not hit as hard as, say, Kevorkian or Dominique can put it down, or even Jamie Lee, but can get that topspin to go into an area of the court where no one seems to be, usually that deep corner. And she's been very effective. 11 kills equaling her teammate Erin Williams for most of this game. Her float serve goes to Bushler. A big swing from Anderson, and Anderson delivers. 7 kills for the senior. She'll check out of the game. Be replaced by Simo in the back row. Lions serve receive of Slattery, Sponsel, and Castellanos. Slattery watches that one go by for a Lions point. Nikki Kevorkian checks in. And Erin Williams back to serve. UCLA with the 5-point advantage, 18-13. Lions looking to chew into that and secure a victory in this all-important third set. And Williams with a service error for a third of this game. And she'll go to the bench. The libero Formico back to serve. She's been a little bit surprisingly inconsistent this game, and with another service error, proves my point. 4 service errors for the for the third-team All-American from last year, the senior libero, who is one of the best in the country at what she does. Been a little bit inconsistent today from the service line. Missed 4. And here's Tess Reed, LMU's freshman setter. Targets Bushler. And a double contact for Ryan Chandler of UCLA. Went to the Lions. Chandler setting all the way around here. And that one just mishandled by Bushler. UCLA will have to scramble to get it back over. They do a free ball. Sponsel, Reed, and Dominique with the kill. Lions down by 3, and Sasha Dominique comes up big. A timeout called by Coach Seeley as the Lions are within 3. Sasha Dominique finally getting going, recording her 2nd kill of the game. She did not play in this morning's game. Fear there might be an injury, but has been pretty good in this one. Impressed in her first game yesterday against Illinois State. And here you're seeing some of the Lions' blocking efforts. And how about that kick save by Tess Reed? A display of athleticism and a real show of perseverance for this Lions side. And they're not quitting in this third set. Only down by 3, 19-16. Some totals from this game: 30 kills and 30 assists for the Lions, 31 kills and 30 assists for the Bruins. LMU is yet to record a service ace. UCLA has 1. 13 blocks for the Bruins, 8 for LMU. And although not to the level of UCLA, that's a big improvement over their efforts yesterday and earlier today. LMU 48 digs to UCLA's 40. Lions defense has been very good this game. Yes, they're down 19-13, but their passing off attacks has been pretty solid, yet they're a little bit inconsistent sometimes in the service line. And there's Reed missing her 2nd of the game. That's 6 service errors for the Lions. 2 by each Reed, or 7 rather. 2 for Reed, 2 for Pritchard, and 3 for Williams. Sponsel takes the pass. Kevorkian on the slide play. Formico can't get to it. There's a free ball. Castellanos. Slattery on the outside. LMU kill. Lions within 3. 20-17. And Savannah Slattery, the freshman, coming in place of Jamie Lee during the set, has done quite well. When she came in for Jamie Lee last game, Coach Tom Black elected to bring Lee back in to start this set. Don't think he'll do the same for the 4th set. Free ball. Castellanos. Reed and Dominique is blocked. Castellanos setting up Sponsel on the outside. Sponsel is long, but a touch is ruled, and LMU takes the point. Now within 2. Slattery looking to continue to serve.
UCLA likes the tip.
And here's Slattery. Slattery serving Formico, slide play Gates, and that one's bounced in front of Castellanos. UCLA with a 3-point advantage. And Anderson returns. Bushler goes to the back row. Sponsel with 12 kills. Anderson with 7, Bushler with 10, so some of your outside hitters performing well. Reed, Sponsel off the block. Here's Anderson, a big swing and a touch from Reed. It goes out. UCLA now that 4-point advantage with 3 to go in a good spot here near the end of the 3rd set. Ball was coming at Tess Reed very quickly. It was likely, or had a chance that it was going out of bounds, but she couldn't really get out of the way of it and had to try to play it off her hands. Sponsel the big swing, Bushler the dig. Anderson the big swing blocked. Here's Reed. Dominique. Formico dives to save it. A big swing from Anderson. Sponsel set up on the quick, and Formico just pops it up. Great reflexes from the senior. Anderson has to free ball it over. Here come the Lions with Kevorkian. And UCLA returning again. Nice set for Anderson, who tips it up. Dominique rejects it. Here's Bushler. Full shot from the back row. Castellanos has to free ball it over. Chandler sets up Anderson. The tip, and it's a nice one. That ends this long rally. Jordan Anderson with the tip. And UCLA now just 2 points away from victory in this 3rd set. That would have been huge if the Lions could have gotten that point. They would have been within 3. But now a 5-point advantage with 2 to go is looking pretty rough. Kevorkian with the kill. The Lions get another breath of life late in this 3rd set. 23-19 is the advantage for the Bruins, and Aaron Williams checks back in. Castellanos back to serve. On the volleyball end line, basketball end line rather. A nice serve and kind of a knuckler from Castellanos. Sponsel with the swing, and Sponsel has been missing long. There might have been a touch there, argue the Lions, but to no avail as UCLA now 1 point away from taking this 3rd set and putting the Lions on the brink of defeat here in this game. Kind of a left-handed swing attempt from Sponsel, but a win on the wrong side of the pin. And UCLA takes the 3rd set, 25-19. LMU struggling there. And now they have to win the 4th set. They're going to stay alive and face, or they will face defeat. We'll be back in just a minute with the 4th set. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network and LMULions.com. Welcome back to this match between the Loyola Marymount Lions and the UCLA Bruins here at Gersten Pavilion. And LMU up against it now, 2 sets down, or rather 3 sets down, and a 2-1 disadvantage. UCLA has won the 2nd and 3rd sets by scores of 25-14 and 25-19. LMU starting out the 3rd set, and that's a block from the UCLA Bruins. Riley Bushler coming up with it. Our 3rd block of the game. Sarah Sponsel with the attack on the 2nd point, and another block. Rogers with the kind of push. Thought she might have it there. Sponsel goes through the block. Gates and Rogers unable to seal the seam. And this time, Sarah Sponsel comes out ahead of it. Now for just some reference here. Last 2 years, the LMU Lions have swept UCLA. As Castellanos with the service ace, the Lions first in this game. Last 2 years, the Lions have swept UCLA 3-0 in the 2015 and 2014 tournaments. In 2013, in this tournament, UCLA won 3-1. So it's been 3 years, and not very many players from either team were playing back then. Just a few Lions are seniors now. Jamie Lee was a transfer from Tennessee, so she wasn't there. A tip from Rogers finds the court. Lions this year, a pretty young team, actually. Only 2 seniors on the roster, Nikki Kevorkian and Jamie Lee. Muno the serve, returned by Whitford. And a nice attack from Williams. UCLA back now again. Whitford. Reed sets behind Sponsel. A roll shot to the other side. Back row. Sivo hits it. Hits it out of bounds. Setter swap for the Lions. Pritchard returning. Pritchard, the float serve. Bushler the kill. UCLA, however, has a few seniors who I'm sure were there at the time. Claire Felix, Jenny Frager, Taylor Formico, all played in that game 3 years ago. Kai Whitford, Kristen Castellanos, Sarah Sponsel goes cross court. But UCLA comes up with it. A big block, Kovac and Williams teaming up to deny Jordan Anderson. And Savannah Slattery returns to the game. And Jamie Lee remains on the bench in this 4th set. Sponsel, the float serve. Setter dump from Chandler is unsuccessful. Sponsel setting up Slattery off the block. UCLA somehow saving it. An overpass for Bushler. Slattery goes off the block and out of bounds for a kill. I'm still not sure how the UCLA defense were able to return that. It was a strong swing from Slattery and it went off the block and pretty far out. But Riley Bushler and Taylor Formico able to track it down. Nevertheless, Lions get the point. Set to Gates is put in the floor for the Bruins. Gates now serving for UCLA. LMU serve receive. Slattery, Sponsel, and Castellanos, but that one heads into the net for a Lions point. 6-4, the Lions advantage in this 4th set, and they have to get out early if they're going to win this one. UCLA has been so strong in the last couple sets, keeping the Lions on their toes. There's a big swing from Anderson and a nice dig from Sponsel. Slattery with the kill. Savannah Slattery going off the block and down for a Lions kill. And she's got 5, despite not having played too much this game. Erin Williams, 4 service errors today. That's the 9th of the game for the Lions. Same as UCLA.
Don't clap, you didn't do anything.
Ryan Chandler with the serve. Set goes to Slattery, and she's feeling it. Savannah Slattery gets her 6th kill. And she's delivering on the outside in relief of Jamie Lee. Tess Reed checks back in the game. Lions with a 3-point advantage here in this 4th set. Reed the float serve. Anderson the pass. Frager with the attack. Sponsel setting up Slattery. The hot hand, the tip finds the floor. Slattery's got 7 now. And Slattery appears to be the hot hand in the Lions offense. Jamie Lee may have to be a bit worried now about her starting spot after this performance by the freshman.
Let's go, Mop Guy.
9-5 is the score here early on in this 4th set at Gerson Pavilion. UCLA has taken the last 2 and leads 2-1. This float serve coming over the net. Anderson a big attack, dug by Reed. Sponsel coming up to serve. Slattery hitting, just missing the back line. Thought she would sneak in a roll shot to beat the defense, but misplaced. And UCLA takes the point. 9-6 now the score. Simo the server. The serve receive consists of Sponsel and Castellanos. That one is denied by the net though. And Savvy-Simo, 2 service errors now today. 10 total for the Bruins. Savannah Slattery continue on to the service line. Very similar serve to Sarah Sponsel. And that's a big swing from Jenny Frager and a big kill. After 14 kills from Frager early on, she now has 6 in today's game. Formico back to serve. And All-America Libero, 4 service errors today. Sponsel the tip, and that is beating the Bruins every time. The left-sided line tip right over the block, and no one covering zone 2. 2 blockers up, no one behind. And Sponsel is capitalizing on the weakness in the Bruins defense. 14 kills now for the junior. Castellanos the floater. Frager now. Return by the Lions. Castellanos comes up to set Sponsel. And that one ruled out of bounds, but might have been a touch. It appears not. Point to UCLA. Sarah Sponsel's actually missed quite a few attacks. This is her 5th error. To go with 14 kills. And there's a strong swing off the block. UCLA comes back with Bushler, and that's a touch. Goes off the hands of Dominique and out of bounds. Muno now serving. And a big swing from Aaron Williams is dug by Muno. And a nice block from Williams. UCLA giving up, and Lions point as Williams and Dominique coming together for the block. Lions with a 3-point advantage. And Jesse Pritchard now coming in to serve. 12-9 here the score at Gerson Pavilion. And LMU has the momentum. A deep serve, Bushler takes it. Chandler has to bump set the junior. Off the block, here come the Lions. Sets to Sponsel, Sponsel goes cross court, Formico easily handles it. A back row from Simo. Aaron Williams off the block, and a Lions kill. Williams with 12 now. Pritchard back to serve, Lions with a 4-point advantage here. Lions stacked in the middle, Sponsel, Williams, and Kovac in the front row. Bushler swings off the block, and how much the Lions could do there. A strong swing from Riley Bushler. Records her 13th kill of the game to lead her team. Jordan Anderson comes back in. As Bushler goes to the service line, Anderson's got 9 kills to her name in this contest. Sponsel the pass. Set goes to Sponsel, who goes off the block. Bruins returning it. Anderson a big swing, and Whitford dives to save the day. Kovac is blocked. Here's Castellanos setting up Sponsel. Sponsel comes over, and a big swing and just cutting outside the line. A huge display of athleticism from Sarah Sponsel, coming from way far away to collect that set, but could not find the court, and the Bruins are now within 2. Bushler, an overpass from Sponsel and an easy kill from Gates. UCLA now within 1. Sponsel perhaps still a bit weary from that last play. It was a rare passing error off the serve. And Coach Black calling a timeout just to kind of stop this run from the Bruins. As UCLA has now rattled off 3 straight points in this 4th set. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching Lions Volleyball on the LMU Sports Network, LMULions.com, and the W.TV. Welcome back. Tie ball game now in the 4th set after UCLA gets a point off a net violation from Sarah Sponsel. Sponsel gets the set again now and makes no mistake about that one. A kill to the far corner. UCLA LMU regains the lead as Savannah Slattery checking back this game. Slattery was the hot hand the last time she came in. 7 kills now and some limited game time. Slattery preferred over Jamie Lee. Bushler from the back row. That A hit is returned by the Lions. Sets at the net. Slattery pushes over. Here comes UCLA. Sets to Gates, blocked but out of bounds. And Gates records the kill, and UCLA ties it up again at 14. Gates the server. 15-13. The score, I think, maybe a misprint, but we'll see. A double whistled, and LMU with another point. Well, appears the score is indeed now 16-13, so a 3-point advantage for the Lions nearing the back half of this 4th set. The Lions take it, they send to a decisive 5th set, 1st to 15. And that is what many of us were expecting for a match between 2 nationally ranked teams. Double contact for the Lions. And UCLA takes the point. Rogers checks back in. And Chandler, the server, for the Bruins. Referees conferring with the scorer's table, gives the players a chance to rest up. I think they've rectified the score, and now it is 15-15, as we had thought. Chandler serves it, and Castellanos has to free ball it over. Chandler setting up Frager off the block. A tip from Slattery, and yet again, the Lions exploiting that spot on the floor for the kill. 16-15. Slattery and Sponsel both just tipping over that right-sided block to find the open bit of floor and record the kill. Reed, the float serve. Set goes to Frager, and she puts that one on the floor for a kill. 8 kills for the senior after 14 earlier today. Simo checking back in. Sarah Sponsel leading all attackers with 15 kills. Riley Bushler is right behind her with 13. Sponsel with the pass. Back set to Kevorkian. It was off the block, off Kevorkian, and out of bounds for a Bruin point. Hard to say whether it would have still been in bounds had Kevorkian not been there. Either way, it's a Bruin point. They're up by 1 now. And a big swing from Kevorkian reverses the tone of the last point, and the Lions even it up. Kevorkian good on that slide play. Only 3 kills for her so far. Here's Slattery on the service line. He sets up to Frager, blocked by Kevorkian. Bushler sets it up. Reed with the dig. Roll shot from Dominique. UCLA running their offense with Bushler and finds that seam for a kill. Bushler now with 14 kills. The block from Dominique and Kevorkian not quite there. As Whitford checks back in for Slattery. He sets over to Sponsel. Sponsel off the block. UCLA players charging and able to get an overpass. Big swing from Dominique. Unable to find the court. UCLA now with a 2-point advantage. And here's the danger zone again for the Lions. Bruins now 6 points away from victory. And Coach Tom Black, sensing it, calls a timeout to kind of stop the run of form UCLA's got going and reverse it. Okay, be here for the timeout. And I think in the last several points of this set, the Lions just have to keep mixing it up offensively. Set it to the pin, set it to the middle. Erin Williams is very strong today. Not in the game right now, but she was very strong earlier in the game, since tapered off a little bit. 12 kills. When she gets back in, the Lions should start setting to her a little bit more. And although she has been getting blocked recently, I think she has shown an ability to hit to the corners rather than straight ahead. So I think a bit more of variety from the Lions attackers may prove effective. UCLA's side, rather, they just have to keep serving consistently and never giving up on plays. UCLA has been very good on seeing plays through to the end, just popping up anything they can when they can't get a good swing on it. And that's kept them in this game and actually has them on the verge of victory. The Bruins not necessarily considered what you would say a scrappy team. A team which does not have the firepower but really goes for every play. They're kind of both. They go all out for every loose ball, but also have the firepower to contend with the best. Sponsel blocked by Rogers. She'll get another set and pushes this one far, and that's what I'm talking about. UCLA somehow gets it over. Sponsel off Bushler for a kill. So Sponsel 3 straight attempts on that point. Eventually comes up with a kill, and Williams returns to the floor. Castellanos with a serve. Castellanos looking to add another service ace to her total. The sets toward Bushler, the tip. A bit of a traffic jam on the Lions' floor as Reed dove to get the tip, and Dominique collected instead. So Reed was out of the play for the second ball, and Lions didn't really recover. Serve coming over. Reed stumbles a bit, some moisture on the floor there. Gonna have to get that sorted after this play. Overpass, Dominique puts it down. UCLA keeps fighting. Williams with the swing, UCLA with the dig. Bushler blocked by Dominique, but out of bounds. And UCLA with some real perseverance here. And they're up by 3, 21-18. Sponsel the pass. Williams the attack. The tip, but Bushler collects. Frager goes for the tip. Dominique the swing off the block. Muno has to set up Bushler. A big swing from Bushler. Castellanos, a tremendous dig. Sponsel with the cross-court kill. point Lions. And LMU now just 2 behind the Bruins. Time is running out here in the 4th set. Lions have to get a few in a row if they're going to win this one. Pritchard comes back in, and Kovac returns. A nice knuckler. And Bushler with a massive swing. And she records her 16th kill of this contest. And now Anderson comes back in. 3 points left for the Bruins. Castellanos, Whitford, and Sponsel the serve receive. Bushler taken by Sponsel. Back to Sponsel. And Formica with a nice pass. Anderson, a big swing. Does not find the court. Lions within 2. I spoke too soon. A touch was ruled. I saw no such touch. A yellow card issued to Tom Black. I could not say who touched the ball, and we'll find out here, because I was so certain that it sailed out of bounds. I did not even look to see. Coach Tom Black issued a yellow card for protesting. Volleyball etiquette is protests have to go through the captain, Sponsel, on the captain on the floor. And Tom Black getting a yellow card, voicing his frustration. And frankly, I agree with him there. I saw no such touch. But no challenges like in the Olympics, and that play's done. And UCLA now within 1 after the hitting error from Williams. So an auspicious end to this game, perhaps, with a tip or a touch call that does not appear to be there. Bushler, the knuckler. Reed setting up Williams. That one hangs on the net for what seemed like an eternity. A net violation whistled on Williams, and that one ends. Game's over. UCLA wins, and a kind of a confusing ending there. A net violation ends it. And a phantom touch call a couple points ago, a deciding moment. So LMU dropping to 2-1 on the season, and UCLA 3-0 after 2 years coming up short. They are the victors of the LMU Invitational in 2016. So congratulations to the UCLA Bruins winning this tournament, and LMU has to regroup after a tough loss and can continue to march forward. Not a moment's rest as they now travel to Denver, Colorado for a tournament. Final score was 25-19 in the 4th set. Let's get you some post-game totals. Sarah Sponsel, 17 kills. Aaron Williams had 12, both hitters. Pretty impressive for UCLA. 16 kills for Riley Bushler, 11 for Jordan Anderson. And the Lions fall. They'll be back in action September the 2nd at Denver, Colorado for the University of Denver Invitational. They'll play a couple more games in Denver before returning to Southern California for the LMU Long Beach Dual Tournament. September 8th at Long Beach, and then back in action here at Gersten Friday, September 9th against Harvard. We'll have that one right here on the LMU Sports Network. Once again, Lions fall to UCLA 3-1 and fall to a record of 2-1.